Hey guys, Heidi Foy here with Bullfrog Creatives. I have some exciting news. I have to get a new computer. It's not really that exciting. I'm not very excited about it. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it because I have to get a new computer and like new things are fun. But now that I have to pay for all the new things, I don't really find them as exciting. So I'm in somebody else's office. I'm borrowing somebody else's computer. Thank goodness for supportive coworkers here at Coldwell Banker. So we are, if you guys remember, last week we talked to a faculty director out of the Central Rocky Mountain region, Mr. Dustin Looper. So we're going to kind of continue with that conversation. We're going to, all the regions I think are really coming close, if not already wrapped up their season. And so we already know who's going to be at the college finals this year, that we are having a college finals. So also really exciting. So this week we're going to have Ron Skovly joining us, and he is from the Great Plains region. Also the coach, I got all these notifications going off. Also the coach at South Dakota State University. So you guys aren't going to want to miss this. Stay tuned. All right, so here we are. It looks like I dropped my chair a little bit and I didn't mean to. That's what I get for being in somebody else's space. I don't know how to run their chair. Ron, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Are y'all getting snow over there right now?
No, they had some snow West River in South Dakota this weekend and had to cancel a couple practice high school rodeos, but it was just cool and windy here for graduation. So
yeah, so we are. My husband swears that it's not snowing, but I know I saw white things fluttering down from the sky. We mowed our lawn yesterday and now it's going to snow. And everybody says, oh, we need the moisture. And I know we do, but there comes a time when you get real sick of hearing that kind of stuff. Now is that time. So Ron, I would love for you. We have already spoken to one faculty director, but I think I'm kind of assuming that my audience here understands what the faculty director does. So why don't you just give us kind of a quick synopsis, or not? I mean, we have some time, about what your role is as a faculty director within the NIRA.
Well, fun fact, I've only had 3 rodeos to learn myself after 12 years of coaching. But, you know, everything between getting the barrel pattern set up, sponsors, sponsor flags, working with the event directors, our student director takes quite a bit of that, but still has to be trained on what's going on there. Basically, everything behind the scenes in the region. And 2 months ago, I said no way I was going to do this, and 3 rodeos later, I got to thinking, well, if I've got 40 to 50 kids on my team and there's 250 in the region, it might be time for me to step up and help out a little bit too. So that's kind of the long and short of it, but basically everything behind the scenes, other than what the host rodeos do.
Perfect. So do you guys, do you get voted in? Do you get nominated? Do you just kind of raise your hand? And then how long are the terms? Is it a term?
Yeah, they're 2-year terms, and well, we had Tate Eck in here for the last 12 years, and he was here when I first started, and he's decided to move on to other things right now, and asked me to fill in interim, and in like I said, in the 3 rodeos, I decided, I guess I'll do it too, but as far as that goes, it's not really 16 people vying for the position in each region, I don't think, because it sure isn't in ours. And we had 1 or 2 interested, and as I showed a little more interest too, they let me have it this year. So
the interim now became like full-time duty
for 2 years. Yeah. And then we'll see. But I think, you know, our coaches in this region get along so well, and contestants, and it's a lot of help, so there's not just one person doing everything unless they wanted to, and I'm sure it'll go fine. So
what about at a national level? I mean, what are your roles at a national level?
Well, this will be the first time I'll be at the CNFR board meeting out there, where Tate, our faculty director before, he's the president on the board there. And so as far as that goes, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll learn fast when I get out there, and very interested. And I'm happy to go out there and be a part of that too.
So normally, I mean, I don't think there typically are a lot of rule changes, but if there are any rule book changes, and that would be kind of voted on at a national level, I suppose the location of the college finals would be voted on at a national level. Although I know y'all are in contract right now to be in Casper for a little bit longer. What are some other things maybe that you anticipate?
Well, this year, for the national commissioner, it sounds like we'll be looking at all the applications for that, or whoever gets interviewed for that when we're out there. Coach of the year, rodeo, not the rodeo of the year, but coach of the year, the Walt Garrison, and a couple of other scholarships that we'll all present from our region. I think there's some scholarships for our faculty or our student directors too, that we'll all be voting on. So, yeah.
Okay. So for those of you that are watching that don't know what the Walt Garrison is, that is a scholarship that is awarded to a student athlete that works both ends of the arena. Is that correct?
No, it's basically somebody who might have overcome hardships.
Okay.
And plus been successful on top of it. Very hardworking, very good student, everything like that. So.
Okay. Okay. So it opens it up a little bit. There's how many scholarships? 4 out of the NIRA office, and then multiple other scholarships that the student athletes can apply for, which clearly I believe the deadlines for those, we may have missed them May 1st, but it's a big opportunity for other ways to continue to allow those students to pay for their schooling in creative ways, I would say, not necessarily just all on their own.
Yeah, and our alumni association, I believe I read somewhere there's over 40,000 that the alumni work really, really hard to put together to earn at CNFR and through applications. So that's amazing. That's just great for all.
Yeah, this year will be really fun to watch the scholarship money get awarded, because there's going to be so much more.
Yes.
The NIRA has done a great job, just like you said, to kind of secure those funds and keep that money coming in for those student athletes.
Yeah.
So, Ron, let's talk a little bit about your region in particular. I know that we talked a little bit off camera before we came on, but y'all kind of had a tough season. I think tougher than most, because everybody was overcoming some type of obstacle, whether they were doing had to wear masks or didn't have to wear masks, whether they could have spectators or not. But on top of that, you guys also kind of came through something, and I'll allow you to talk about it as much as you would like to or not. But you guys did lose a coach in Mr. Garrett Noakes, and I guess talk to us a little bit about that, and maybe Garrett's history in the region.
Yeah, Garrett was a huge personality around, for coaches and in our region here on different events. We'll have certain events, talk to another coach about bronc riding, and a lot of them went to Garrett on the bull logging, calf roping breakaway, because he'd been at the NFR and in bull logging and won a lot in tie down since I amateur rodeo with him in Nebraska 20 years ago. So I knew him way before coaching, him and his brother. But we lost him late January, early February, and voted him in as coach of the year. But he was coach of the year in 2019, and probably could have had as many years as he wanted to, because everybody loved him, and he's always looking for the next cup of coffee. And if you had notes or didn't understand your notes that you took on cattle, you always go to Garrett, and he'd researched all the stock before he even got there. So it was really changed this spring, but their team did great. The men's team won it and had a qualifier on the women's team, and they all pulled together. And Akai Akai, the assistant coach, did an outstanding job. He's a bull rider, but was in the box with every one of them this spring, helping out breakaway ropers and anybody that wanted help. So And the other coaches tried as much as they could to help out, but Akai did an awesome job stepping in.
Very cool. Well, our condolences out to you guys. I understand that he was in a horse accident and just didn't quite recover from that. And we followed along kind of his story to watch and keep track, and said many prayers, and hopefully, my family took a big loss several years ago, and it can take some time. So hopefully you guys are kind of on your way anyways.
Yeah. And the last couple of years, Mid Plains put on a double rodeo just to fill in anyway. Mm-hmm. And he did that last fall, and I talked to him about a week before the accident for about an hour one morning just to call about, spring season. And an hour later we got off the phone, but he said, well, Brookings can't have the rodeo because of all the expenses and only half capacity and everything like that. Let us know, and we'll try to put some money together. We'll have another double down here this spring. And he was all for having another one and getting his buildings all set up for it. And that's just how he was. So
yeah, just wanted to make sure that those kids got 10 good rodeos.
Exactly. Yeah. Because at that time there was 3 schools, including us, that had no idea if they're going to or not. And luckily we were the only one this spring. River Falls and Fargo were the only one last fall. And there's a few that filled in with doubles, and we got through our 10. Some of them, one of them we couldn't have any family at because every family member in the whole region wanted to come watch a rodeo finally after the fall and didn't have enough bleachers. But the rest of them were either half capacity or we had to wear masks, and we got through it just fine. So.
Yeah. So let's change gears a little bit. You did say y'all did get 10 rodeos under your belt. They were a little bit different than what they've been in the years past, but you did manage to get it done. Let's talk about your qualifiers. I mean, talk about some of the standouts that you, I know it's funny because every region feels like they're the toughest region, and it's a tough region. So I'd be interested to know, in your opinion, like, what do you expect to see? And kind of, I guess, maybe some highlights and who we should be looking for.
On our team for sure, I think we've got 1 freshman, mostly seniors, and a couple juniors who are out of the 10 that we've qualified. So I'm excited for the experience that, 1 would have qualified last year. Obviously we didn't have it, so we didn't have the CNFR experience, but would have been there. But across the region, men's and women's teams and event qualifiers, there's a lot of juniors and seniors that have been there or should have been there before. That would be really exciting to see. One on our team that I'll be talking about maybe for the Walt Garrison, I guess, JC Hupp has been there 4 times. She got a hardship for a team roping accident where she lost sight in her right eye. Come back and was winning the region before it got called off this last time, and had a full year again this time, and just barely missed out on the all-around, but she won the region pretty handily in the goat tying with just her left eye. So
that's what I was going to ask, with just so she has no sight in her right eye, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
It slipped off a horn, and the first thing it hit was right in the middle of her eye, not around, but right square in the middle. And that was at a fundraising jackpot for another team. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Now, how long ago was that?
That was the summer before last.
So 19.
So yeah, and she had Ira shipped in from overseas to replace it, an experimental deal just to get the pressure off the eye. And 2 weeks before our first college rodeo, she entered her first amateur rodeo to see if it'd even work. And she said, yep, it's fine, and went on with that. And after tying a million goats, I think it's muscle memory, but it's still the learning of the balance and everything like that.
Yes.
She's just amazing what she overcame there. So.
Oh my goodness, man, I would love to talk to her when she gets here. So I'll track you down.
Okay. Yeah.
What a great story. Oh, I'm not paying attention. I got some comments over here. Oh yes. So, oh, Jim Boy, you gotta love Jim Boy. Jim Boy just wants to make sure that you know what's going on. I'll show you how it's done. You can always count on that.
I can't wait to take notes from Jim Boy.
And thank goodness, Susan is on here talking about Walt Garrison. So leadership, tenacity, respect, honesty, and loyalty. Definitely appreciate that feedback. Yeah, I'm really excited to meet this young lady. What about some other, I don't know, not necessarily stories, but talk about some of the qualifiers that you see coming up. I see that I'm excited to see that Garrett's men's rodeo team did win the region for Mid-Plains and will be representing Mid-Plains and Garrett, I'm sure, at the college finals. And I'm happy to congratulate you that both your men's and women's team will be representing, one in the men's team in the second place position, but your women's team came out on top. Talk to me a little bit about, we talk about this off camera. There's some pretty good rivalries in each region. And you mentioned that you guys were finally able to edge out Black Hills State. I know when I was in the Big Sky region, it's always a competition. Well, it's always a competition, period. But there's always this kind of neck and neck between the University of Montana and Montana State. And much respect to both programs. And I'm sure same for you guys. But it's different in college rodeo when you talk about that rivalry. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and it's until you look at the numbers every year, as coaches, we don't, probably look at it as much as the team members themselves, the talk behind practices and everything. Hey, we need this many points for second or third place or whatever, or hey, we got a shot to win it. Because as a coach, you don't want to go to everybody and say, hey, you need this many points or the team's not going to qualify. You don't ever want to do that. But it's in the back of their mind, and you hope that it's in the back of their mind, or they're there just for the party or the rodeo or wearing the vest. But when you get to this level and qualifiers and everything like that, they appreciate it. And this year I had four or five team members that asked if they could have a morning session to breakaway and tie down. And I said, that's fine. What time are you thinking? Well, we got to be done by 7. So I was in the tractor at 5:30 in the morning from Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we had the calves loaded up and out of there by 7. But these are just little deals where, in the standings at the end, I really, truly believe that helped. And Mid-Plains, they've obviously been working hard, and Garrett recruited outstanding bow loggers and team rope and calf ropers there. So we get to CNFR really watch the Mid-Plains bow loggers out there, because they were tops all year long. And if you got snuck into a go around or something on them, you did something right. So.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the final results for the steer wrestling. It looks like in the top 10, 7 of them are from Mid-Plains. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So, and Windshock was the runner-up for all around there. My Judd Grover won the calf roping, team roping, and the all-around. So he'll do well out there. Taylor Brink won the women's all-around for BH. And then Opal Harkins was at BH, and now she's at law school at the University of South Dakota. And she was a women's all-around reserve. So they'll do very well out there.
So I just want to step back a little bit and talk about something that's different, I think, in not just in college rodeo, but in the sport of rodeo across the board, is that, everyone is out competing individually. And at college, you have the team also, but they're competing individually and helping one another. I mean, how many of those steer wrestlers all ride the same horse and don't go to the same school? And then oftentimes in the team roping, you'll see somebody from Black Hills State roping with someone from, South Dakota State. Like it's a different mentality when you talk about the competitiveness and the camaraderie in rodeo in general. We talked a lot about it during the NFR, especially because you see those steer wrestlers have that brotherly bond. But it's common across the board, I think, in college rodeo, where everybody just kind of is there for everyone else also.
Exactly. And that's hard to explain to recruits as they come in. And well, how do you do this, or how your practices, or who teaches what, and being a rodeo coach with that many different events, it's like being a track coach, with everything going on, and there's a lot of help behind the scenes for every event. Or kids have been to different clinics and barrel racing or goat tying or this or that, try this, try that, and there's no one perfect scenario, but yeah, I mean, between traveling together and motels together and practicing together, um, almost sometimes you see if they live together, that might be a little too much time, and that goes the opposite way too. But um, yeah, but by the time they were done, we had graduation this weekend, and my Facebook feed was just filled with team members taking pictures together and going to miss this place, and that really helps. After 4 years of long practices and long drives and everything like that, that they appreciate it, and they're going to miss it, and I wish I had more returning members, but when they're set up on a 4-year plan with all the credits, they've already taken the majors and a couple minors and run out of classes. And who would have known that would have happened 4 years ago, when they started out, but that's what they're here for. So.
Well, so let's talk about that. How many did all of your seniors return and take advantage of that kind of redo of 2020? Or did you have a lot of people just move on?
I had two. JC was one of them, just for the fact she wanted to go back to CNFR one more time since it was canceled last year. And she's been third at the CNFR freshman year in the goat tying and won a couple rounds out there and had a goat to get up to come back really good. So she's determined again this year. But past that, I had now I've got team members even this year that basically, I'm out of classes to take unless I want to start a whole new major. And we just didn't see that coming here 3 years ago or 4 years ago even. So.
Well, that's super cool. Ron, I look forward to seeing you in person again this year. Super excited about that. Is there anything else you want to, I guess, give us a heads up coming out of your region?
It's just going to be a fun time out there, and there's going to be a lot of parents out there, a lot of friends that ready to come and cheer us on out there, and I know we'll do well. But I think even the weak performances of the CNFR this year are going to be full from what I've seen, and just the off performances that we've had at our region right now. So that's going to be exciting, and to get the region together out there for. Even some of the community colleges where this is only their second year, they have never been to the CNFR, and they should have been. We definitely needed this one, so this would be great.
Yeah, it will be good. It'll be good to see everybody, and I think you're right. I mean, everything. Just speaking from a Casper community standpoint, everything that has been going on has been getting really, really good attendance, and so I hope that it kind of filters through for the college rodeo also. Those Tuesday, Wednesday night performances where we don't get a lot of attendance or as much as a Friday, Saturday. I think you're right. I would agree with that kind of, I would agree with that. And I hope that you're right. And hopefully our community kind of steps up and welcomes y'all back with open arms. I know we'll be excited to have everybody back.
Well, if Jim Boy's still watching, I hope he brings really good goats this year. So I don't know.
He always Where you at, Jim Boy?
He always does.
Oh, great. That's funny. We're gonna be watching you now, Jim Boy.
Yep. I can't wait to see everybody again.
Yeah, it'll be good. I know it's like a good family reunion every year, so we'll be excited to see you guys. Ron, thank you so much for joining us. You guys, we're super excited to be able to give you this kind of behind the scenes and road to the CNFR coming up to the college finals in June. We're really not that far away. It's May 10th, I believe, that students check in on June 12th, or at least can check in. We'll start showing up kind of prior to that. But y'all, hopefully we can get a few more faculty directors on here, and you guys can put a face to the names that you see in the program. Hey, pick your favorites and start making those signs, because you know that we like to have signs in the crowd when you guys come and watch. So for you parents, thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, and I want to remind you, remember this kind of started by doing interviews with colleges and profiling those college rodeo programs. So if you guys are student athletes yourself, or you have a student athlete that's interested in college rodeoing, reach out to me and I will do my best to get those coaches on here. The goal really is to kind of create those opportunities to build relationships and make those connections for you. So I guess just keep watching and keep on coming back. Special shout out to Cinch Jeans for keeping me looking so sharp in my cinch clothes. Definitely appreciate that. And as you know, we will be bringing you some special features and a special broadcast during the college finals, also brought to you by Cinch Jeans. So stay tuned. If y'all can't make it, hopefully we can make it feel like you're not missing out on all the good stuff. So you guys have a good week and we will catch you next week.